So how will you continue to owe someone? You need to turn that liability to an asset. So when you give it to a borrower, you lend money out to someone. So let's assume you lend out 500. You lend out 500 to someone. The person is paying you 5% of it. So 5 over 100 multiplied by 500. 5 times 5, 25. So that means the person is going to pay 525 back, right? So you have been able to create money out of this 500.
It's working, but
the 500 was what was deposited. You gave it out to somebody. The person is paying 5% of that back with the principal. So the amount paying back is principal plus interest. Principal is 500. Interest is 25, right? So now the bank has 525. So that is how banks create money. So they've turned a liability to an asset. So this one belongs to the bank now. From this liability of 500, the bank has 525. So as soon as the depositor comes back to the bank, 500 will be paid minus this will be paid. So the bank keeps 25. Do we understand how a bank turn a liability to an asset now? Is it clear, please?
Yeah.
Do we understand? Great. Where? The point we're making is that there's credit availability, and her question was, how do we have to pay interest every now and then? Yes, you have to pay interest every now and then, because as soon as a customer deposited money into a bank, the bank becomes liable to the customer. It's a liability to the bank. So you can't keep a liability and continue to stay with the liability. When you stay with the liability, you go down. So what do? You start looking for someone who needs the money. So the example I made was an individual kept 500, deposited 500 into the bank. Another individual, so we have an individual who has 500. Then we have another individual who needs 500.